Hey, Happy New Year. Welcome to January 1. I just wanted to shoot this little video to you because, you know what, I want you to start your year well. So I'm just going to take you through a bit of a framework just to get you thinking about the year ahead, because ultimately, like, if you did get the best out of 2019, it all starts with momentum, right? And the earlier you can build momentum, the better results you're going to get. You know, the word for me for 2019 that I'm going to be teaching, I'm going to be referring to this all the time with the show, is being intentional, right? I think that's my big theme for 2019, is being intentional. So, you know, like, you can't wander your way into success and you can't wander your way out of mediocrity, right? It takes being intentional. Intentional about your money, intentional about your business, intentional about your customers, intentional about your time, and so forth. And so I just want to take you through a framework and starting to get you think about, from day one of the year, how do I be intentional in the 5 key areas of life? Because I know that, if you're not intentional about life, it'll happen anyway, right? And you'll end up being you'll build a life by default instead of a life by design. So this is about just thinking about what we think about and deciding your actions and deciding your behaviors and then putting them into practice. And if we can get this right at the start of the year, then there'll be more fruit by the end. So the 5 areas I'm going to be talking about are our 5 F's that we believe as an organization, right? For us, success is balancing the 5 F's: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Okay, so our faith walk, our relationship with Jesus, our family, the people God's entrusted with us. Okay, our finances, that's self-explanatory, and our fitness, looking after ourselves and making sure we have fun and enjoying the journey. So what I've got up here is, you know, essentially like a life wheel. You may have seen these or done one of these at some point in your life. But basically, it's about taking a stamp on where you are today, right? So I've got the center of the axis here, and then we've got 10 marks out to the end. Obviously, the better you do this area, the further out you would go. So it's just about simply being very honest with ourselves and saying, all right, it's here, it's the start of 2019. How's my faith journey right now, right? And being brutally honest with yourself and going, well, it's not as good as it could have been, or it's great right now, or in fact, I probably haven't included the Lord in much in my life in the last 3 months. However it looks for you, but being really, really honest with yourself and saying, you know, matching up against my potential, how am I going in my walk with Jesus right now? And then you just give it a score, okay? Here's 1, here's 9, here's 10. You go, okay, currently I'm about a 5. We'll play the middle ground on that one just for fun. Next one, with our family, right? Some of us are husbands, wives, some of us are fathers, mothers, kids, and those sort of things. So whether you have your own kids or whether you look after family members, how are you doing family right now, right? You know, I know for me, when my eldest daughter is 10, God's given me 3 girls, my eldest daughter is 10, you know, right back at the start, I wasn't very present, right? I was probably too focused on the business, bit of shock as to what this family thing looks like. And I really struggled, and I had to learn the skill of actually sitting there and engaging with my family, throwing off the business and being present with them. And that, to me, I had to learn that. That took me quite a while. You know, fast forward a few years, and I'm blessed now to say that when work finishes, it finishes, and when I go home for the family, I'm with the family. But that took me a long time to get there, you know, and so for me, just one simple little hack, right? When I drive home from the office, I'll spend 30 seconds to 1 minute in the car doing a brain dump of all the things in my mind, and then I'll go and spend time with the family. What that allows me to do is park my to-do list on a bit of paper and pick it up in the morning, keep going, and then I can be present with my family, right? But how are you going with your family right now, okay? But you've got to be honest with yourself. This isn't a test that you can pass or fail. The only fail is to not do it, right? Or not be honest at least. You know, so maybe you're like, okay, well, family, maybe not so good. Finance. Did you end up with more money at the end of 2018 than you started with, okay? This is about growing in these areas. How did you go with finance? Did you have a bigger revenue? Did you have a bigger profit? Do you have a big of, you know, money left over, equity base, however that is, all right? How did you go in 2018? Because we should be growing in these areas every single year. And so maybe you're like, yeah, I absolutely crushed it, right? I saved well, I invested well, and I've really improved my balance sheet. Excellent. Fitness. You know, the one that gets overlooked by most business people. How did you go, right? Did you take the time to get up and train and exercise and eat well and do all those sort of things that you needed to do? Or did you not even go close to doing anything and you lived on the fly, or somewhere in the middle? Did you make it but you didn't quite do enough? How did that look for you? You know, for me, out of the 5, this is the one I struggle with the most. My life moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it's probably the lowest on my value list, okay? Which is a problem. That's why we do these exercises, because when you realize you can do something about it and be intentional about fixing it, all right? So maybe it's like, yeah, fitness, I did a really bad job of that one. We'll put that back here. And then fun. Are you enjoying the journey? Are you stopping and having fun along the way with the people you care about most? Right? And whatever fun is for you. For some people that's ski trips in New Zealand. For some of it's a weekend away in the bush. Whatever it is for you, are you stopping and having fun? Are you finding those time to play board games as a family? Are you finding those times to go and visit friends? Are you having fun? Because if you don't enjoy the journey, you won't endure the journey. All right? So it's about finding those ways of having fun, stealing those times. That's what's going to make you stick to this along the way. And then maybe you're like, yeah, absolutely crushed it, right? You know, like I do fun well, or maybe I don't do fun. And then all we do from here is we take this and we put them together, okay? So that's to there, to here, to there, to here, to there. Now, the reason why this is important, because like if this was a car wheel in that shape, it's going to be a bumpy ride, right? This is not going to be a smooth way through life if this was the wheel of a car. Our job is to look at this and then be intentional about growing in every area. Because at the very least, it should be like this. Right? That's going to make it smoother. But ultimately, we need to be growing to the point where we're playing on the outside. Always growing in our faith, always growing in our family, finances, fitness. It's not about pulling some back and growing in others. It's about always growing in all 5. You know, I had a fellow say to me many years ago, he said, Wes, I've got 20 years in business and 20 years of being a Christian in business. And I quizzed him and I found out a little bit about what was going on and coached him for a little while. And I said to this fellow, you don't have 20 years. You've got 1 year. You just photocopied it 19 more times. You haven't grown. You haven't increased. You're just repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing. So let me urge you to not do that in 2019. As a result of giving up a few minutes and watching this video, why don't you just grab a sheet of paper, however you want to do it, and sit there and go, what do I need to do to be more intentional in my faith? Is that get up in the morning and start reading the scriptures more often, okay? Is it joining a Bible study? What is it you need to do that? Do you need to get a better relationship with your pastors? Call them up and go have lunch. What's an action you can take to be more intentional in your faith? You could pick up any page of the Bible and start reading, and there's gold in there, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't even need to worry about joining a Bible study. You can just like grab the book of Leviticus and start reading, and it'll help you in your faith, all right? So what's one action you can take to be more intentional? What about your family? What do you need to do to be more intentional with them? Even if you're great with them, what can you do to be more intentional with them? Is it that you're just going to go, okay, that's it. I'm booking that family holiday that we've been putting off for years. I'm going to get it done. Is it that you're decided that you are going to take 30 seconds and do a brain dump of your to-do list so that when you go and see time with the family, you're more intentional? What are you going to do? One intentional task. With your finance, okay, what can you do to be more intentional? That could be as simple as you're going to start attacking the debt that you've got. It could be that you're going to open a profit account, start putting some money in a profit account and let it build up. Okay, you're going to start making some investments. What are you going to do so that at the end of 2019, you have more money than you started with at the start, okay? And then with your fitness, what can you be intentional about? Is it that you're going to get up, start walking every morning? Is it going to join a gym? Go and buy some equipment so you can train at home. What's something you can do to be more intentional about your fitness? And lastly, fun, right? The one that gets overlooked by most people. What can you do to start being more intentional about fun? Book that thing. Book the weekend away with your spouse. Take the kids on holiday, right? Buy the golf clubs if you want to go play golf. What is it that you can do, one action in each 5 areas, to be more intentional about having fun, fitness, faith, family, finance, the whole bang? The more intentional you are, the better outcome you will have. Make a decision, commit, know your outcome, and you'll have a better 2019. Hey, listen, if that was valuable for you, we've got 2 days of training coming up. Kingdom Business Summit. I know a bunch of you have been before and have already booked your ticket. There are still a few tickets left. Go to kingdombusiness.com.au and let me and my team invest in you for 2 full days. Anyway, hope our paths cross at some point in the near future. You're awesome, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. See ya.